Hello and welcome to today's edition of Career Gist. If you can hear me out there, hello, hello. And we are glad to be back. And on today's edition, we have Chioma Nzekwe, and she will be giving us some breakdown on Black women in tech, DACH region. Career Gist is an opportunity to interact with one another, with business people, with career experts, with people from different career paths, telling us about different options that we have, different possibilities. If you want to change your career path to something else, you have the opportunity to get to listen to people in this field and to ask them questions one-on-one on what you need to change or what you need to improve on. So it's more like you have the opportunity to find a mentor for yourself or a coach for yourself to improve yourself and to better inform yourself on the necessary things that needs to be done. On today's career gist, Chioma will be telling us everything that we need to know about Black women in tech, why it's important for us to be part of the discussion and to be part of the uprising of putting ourselves in front of the career opportunities in the tech space, and not necessarily, you don't even need to be a techie as far you don't necessarily need to be coding or things like that. There are different areas in the tech space where we can take up. Chioma is a PMP certified project manager and technology professional with more than 10 years of experience in different IT companies. And she works currently with SAP as a senior consultant. And I won't be doing her introduction. I will let her do more of the talking because she's going to be giving us more about this area in tech. So she would tell us more about herself and as well about this information. So Chioma, please, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Chinelo. Um, I forgot to mention, I don't know, do we have an audience or is this just like a podcast, you and I, or do you have an audience? I'd like to.
The audience, we have an audience. It's live in AMD, and every question that will be asked, you have the opportunity to respond to those questions. So
Okay,
definitely, we have an audience there. They're watching you right now. So
okay. Yeah, it's kind of weird because I can't see anything, but
yes,
hello to the audience. Yeah, okay, so, okay, yeah, hello to every guy, anybody out there. And it's a pleasure to virtually meet you, or I wish I could see the names because I enjoy connecting, um, with names or to be sure they're real people. But I will first of all try to share my screen. Um, yeah, because I brought for us just a few slides to allow me to talk about myself a little bit more. Okay. So tell me if you can see my screen. I guess Chinelo, you can confirm, and I'll
yes,
go.
we can see your screen. Please go on.
Okay, so yeah, thank you again, Chinelo, for the beautiful introduction, and every lady out there. Um, it's a pleasure to meet you. Please drop your name in the chat. I would like to know you by names before when I finish the presentation and we get to the Q&A. And today I will be discussing the follow. I mean, the following points that I have on the agenda. In the first instance, I will talk about myself, about my profile, what I am, what I have been doing in Germany. And I will give today's session is focused mostly on the Black Women in Tech, DAC, an initiative that is all going on, and I can explain about this more. I mean, it's for me, I think is one of the reasons why I came here today for any person looking for more information on the tech world. this is a good opportunity, initiative for that. And also, we're going to talk about next steps, and I'm going to open it up for Q&A. Any question else you have? Is it regarding the Black women in tech, DACH, or is it about any other thing in the tech world that you want to know? So, and I understood this session is about 1 hour, but I will probably spend just 30 minutes to 35 talking about this whole thing. And I want to give as much time as possible for questions. And of course, Chinelo, I'm sure you'll be keeping track of time for us. So, talking about myself, I'm Chioma Nzekwe. I know AMD is mostly Africans. I am Nigerian, Igbo, ana m asụ Igbo ọfụma. Ndị Igbo nọ there, ekene m unu. So for non-Igbo people or non-Nigerians, we're going to stick to English. I have been in Germany for the last total now of it's about 16 years. I would say a little above 6 totally in Germany. I I also came quite young, and but quite young enough that I already completed my first degree, and I came to Germany to continue also my master's and also to join my husband who lives in Germany. And I also came with my little daughter who is 1 year old as of the time that we relocated. But today I'm a mom of three and still a wife. And career-wise, I have spent the last 11 years, so pretty much after completing my master's, my MBA in Darmstadt University, Hochschule Darmstadt, I started working in tech, started working with IBM, spent some time in IBM, about 6 years, did about a year in Accenture, and the last 6 years now, almost 6 years now, with SAP, and still currently with SAP. So from a tech perspective, I have been in the area of project management. So I started my career as a project manager, and I now gradually climbed or switched a little bit of also being a project manager and a consultant in the area of cloud service delivery. So I don't know if any of you is familiar with the technology cloud. I will not go into the details, but the cloud is still the hot topic now. So from the software side, application side, Facebook, Instagram, or Gmail, these are all types of cloud applications, to the infrastructure cloud services, which is most of the the heavy backbone of technology is the cloud infrastructure, which is behind the scene. And that's why, so I have spanned my career around that, which I now currently work as a consultant in cloud implementation, cloud software implementation, and also as part of my role, I am always working with customers around continuous improvement of their infrastructure or of the application, or adopting new innovation technologies to help them, stay in business and make sure that they are, profitable and remain relevant. So, as I mentioned already, yeah, I work in tech, SAP Germany. Where I live very close to Frankfurt, just around the corner. It's a little town off Frankfurt, Aschaffenburg. But if you're anywhere close to the Frankfurt area, then I'm sure that we are close to each other. We are probably neighbors. So one of my favorite things to do is to write. I do write, even though you might not see me writing a lot, but I do write internally. I used to write before to publish, but I think very soon I'm going to pick up that, because with this new initiative that I'm going to be talking about, I think I'm going to spend a lot of time providing or sharing information through writing, or giving back knowledge through writing. So I'm also a sucker for authenticity, and being authentic, and also trying as much as possible to set my purpose each time, because I think it's very important when you as a human being realize what is your calling, what is your purpose, what are you meant to. I mean, there's a whole lot of topic and journey or how to achieve that, but I know that it's fun, or it's a beautiful thing when you are aligned to your purpose and you are being authentic as you're doing that as well. And of course, fun fact about me, I just want to put it out there because all of us, come with different dents and different type of differences. I cannot ride a bicycle yet. I don't know. It's just a crazy thing from Nigeria when he got opportunity, and I never bothered. Even till today, I have never bothered chasing one other thing or the other. But hopefully, I know I'll definitely ride a bicycle, but I'll just one day make out time for it. So yeah, so this is a little bit about myself. I think I already mentioned yeah, already I mentioned I'm a mom, 3 kids. My kids are teenagers. I think the last is 13, and while the first is 17. So I have going through the teenage age right now. Quite interesting. I mean, I enjoy this period because I see the kids now little adults, and it's good to engage and have conversation with them. And that is pretty much about myself. And I will go now to talk about the Black women in tech and what it is all about. So, and I would like to tell a little bit of story here. Um, for about many years, I would say when I started working, so my first role, or when I started working with IBM, I started in 2011. I remember starting January, very cool. Personally, I remember my first 4 or 5 years of, let's say, yeah, first 3 to 4 years, very difficult. I would say very difficult in the environment of I would say being a black professional and being a woman and being in Germany. It was not easy. Right, I can tell you that it was not easy. But as the going says, things kind of get easier as things goes by. You learn, you gain knowledge, you find your way through it. Some people say you fake it till you make it. But couple of women that I have met that went through this are the people that we sort of came together and decided to pull this initiative together, what we are calling the Black Women in Tech DACH. So pulling all of us from the African descent, Black, most likely German is not our native language, and we found ourselves in tech. We found ourselves to be successful, God willing, and we are looking to give back to the community that we are actually part of. So our vision is typically to normalize the empowerment and representation of the Black female talents in the tech industry in DAC. And why is that? Because there are so many Black female out there. I no joke. I mean, there are people out there. So, but at the same time, we are also growing in numbers, and we want to make this something that it's normal to see a Black woman also working in tech. It's no longer something that it's just one of us. You just find one of us somewhere, but it's normal that Black women can be in tech and can also be doing well there, especially in the DACH region. We are coming with the language, we know what it takes to be there, and we are there. And our organization is definitely, of course, to offer that platform to come together as Black women, and also to educate and inspire ourselves, and most importantly, to recognize ourselves. I mentioned that we are also all apart the world. We are different. Everybody's on their own, struggling. I can tell you when I met this ladies that I'm working with, it was so interesting to see how common our stories were. So everybody is saying the same thing, how I felt, how I handled the situation, how did I manage to navigate some of these unconscious biases, how did I handle with some difficult conversations, or sometimes people assume nothing of us. So in the first instance, we want to offer a community of ourselves coming together to share and recognize ourselves and inspire. And also, at the same time, we also want to see that we're able to collaborate with tech companies and other influencers out there to make sure we contribute to the diversity and representation of the tech industry. As you may know, many companies out there, they do have diversity and inclusion as one of the top goals in their, I mean, one of the top goals in the organization. And when I mean diversity, it's not just female or men, female or male gender parity, not the gender parity, but just also representation of different cultures and minorities of cultures as well, represented in the organization. So some of the companies have that agenda, and we want to also support them fulfill that by having this platform. And looking down, when we try to double down on our vision and our mission, what does this exactly mean for our goals? Like, what are we doing per se? So we are definitely going to continue to showcase the representation. Who are the black females out there? Who are you? We want to pull people together, bring them together and make sure we are visible, work on improving our brand. That's very key. And also, as I mentioned, of course, help our different organization on their diversity agenda. If they are looking to tap into black or female talents, we can do that, and also help to drive the recognition and the strength of ourselves in this space. And I think the most important thing for us is for this community is also to give back, to help and to support the younger ones coming up, or people in Japan they call them even the queer Einsteiger, people that want to move over, or people that are trying to go study, trying to say, okay, what do I do now? An opportunity to give back. So everybody, you can give back. I know one of my purposes is to definitely give back here, and also the ladies that I'm working together with as well. So I mean, it's in all around. I think the key word for us as for this initiative is to we are focusing on empowerment, we're focusing on our representation, we're focusing on, giving back to our community. We're focusing on impacting, and we're focusing on inspiring ourselves. And I think one of the favorite things I like also is the representation, because it's one thing to go out there and see somebody like you. I did not have that. I was pretty much for many years, even to today, only female in the room for many, like even to today in SAP. I don't know, but in my role, I am pretty much always the only female. When you come talking to the C, to when I get to the C suite and I am sitting alone, if I'm not the only woman, I'm the only woman. Then on top of that, I'm the only black person. So we want to start making ourselves being out there. So people that are inspiring or that are aspiring to go to know that it's actually possible. I live in Germany for many years, and I know and I'm aware that there are so many rumors or stories that go around. People believe that being in tech or being in the professional is far-fetched, it's not possible. You can do it. This is not for us. We are better doing Pflege job, care jobs, or we are doing Lagerarbeit. But I want to tell you, if you dream to be in this position, if you dream to be in tech, it's actually possible, because that was also my dream. Before I moved to Germany, I actually, after my service in Nigeria, I was working with Globacom. So I have always loved technology. I was always, I knew that this is where I wanted to be. So when I came from me working from Globacom for 1 year, after my service here, spent 1 year, then my visa was out, and I just moved over to with my daughter. I knew that never I wanted to continue my career trajectory. I knew I didn't want to stop at all the work that I have put in Nigeria to just let it go and start switching. So it is possible. So, and this is why we came together to also change that narrative. If you're migrating from Germany, from any part of the world, you're coming to Germany, or you are living in Germany, you're second generation growing up, it is actually possible to achieve or to get where you want to get. But the question is, of course, do you have the support system, and do you have what it takes? Are you ready to put in the work? And this is just one part of it, the support system. And that's why my ladies and I, or my friends and I, or my contemporaries and I came together to put this initiative to help at least start providing the support system, because we know that always it takes a village. It takes a village. It's never one fully effort. And we can start doing that from today. So please feel free to drop your questions, because I will take them after. I'm not talking for too long. I'll probably be rounding up in the next 10 minutes or 12. So, and so the value propositions for this year, just to give you a sneak peek of what is coming in concretely, is first, we are hoping to partner up with tech companies to help them meet their diversity agendas, objective. And the second part as well, we are going to be enhancing the representation and visibility. I mean, I've already said that before, and I'm not going to repeat myself, but this is the two main areas that we are going to be focusing on this 2003 as soon as we launch. So what are we planning actually in the next 2000 this year? The year is just starting. So we are planning our soft launch in February next month. Next month is the Black History Month, and we're going to use that month to roll out our space, our community, to start making ourselves known, inviting members. And we are at the same time going to start collaborating with another community. For example, AMD. I'm already here even before February, but this will also continue with other people that have different communities. There are a good network of communities out there. There's Black in Tech Berlin. There is lots of organization out there that we can tap into and connect with just to let them know what we're doing. And also, we're currently also trying to set up if the German law and also complete our founding members, because I think we need to be a minimum amount to be part of Newsform and EFAL in Germany. And at the same time, we're going to start rolling out the key offerings. So for key offerings that support the value proposition. So what is on the sort of the pipeline that we have, but whatever we decide to roll out is going to be also, that will be done decisively and we can prioritize. And also, we're also going to listen to you guys. What is your preferred, what you want to hear about, what we want to talk about in the community. We're going to be open to provide content and provide talks and materials or assets or support for the different personas we are going to have in the community. And this is going to focus around mentoring, how to avoid language barrier, how do you do to land your job, and also importantly for the tech companies, hopefully that we're going to partner with, to provide them with a channel, a platform for matching talents with jobs. So this is what we planned out for 2023, and we're going to look at how we're starting already to grow and see how that grows and see what we're going to do as we move ahead. So last slide here, or last key slide for you that I want to share. If you are interested and if you want to, if you're remotely interested, for you or for anybody out there that is your friend or whoever you care for, you can share to. We are going to be, we already have our groups active, but we're going to be announcing formally in February. But I will make this available for you guys. So we have two platforms on Facebook and LinkedIn. And because of the connection with companies, we are definitely going to be recommending most people to be on LinkedIn, depending on what you're looking for, depending on your phase and your stage. We will ask you to create a LinkedIn profile, because I know in the future, a lot of things we're going to be talking about, you are better off to be on LinkedIn because of the professional network. And also, we are going to ask you to submit your questions, especially on the Facebook page, on the LinkedIn page. Submit your questions, share your stories, share your feedback, share your struggles, because that will help us, again, to decisively curate the content and focus on areas that we want to provide support with. And also, continue to build your network and build and expand your network. I want to let you know that talking with me today is one thing you can go home with. There is nothing, everything that we are doing today or in the future is going to be around your network. And when I mean your network, I don't mean that you are on Facebook clicking and liking, but I mean that you're actively engaging with people in terms of understanding what is out there, broadening your horizon, asking questions, connecting with people, reaching out for support when you need, and helping to your network will generally help your agenda, help that you are looking to achieve. And all these tips and tricks, by the way, is something we're going to unpack in this community to share our stories. How did I get there? It wasn't magic. It was a lot. It wasn't magic. It wasn't Chioma was lucky. I hear that a lot. Chioma, you're lucky, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of intentional activity. There's a lot of things, sweat and tears. But the best thing is, hey, we are ready to give it up all for free. So please feel free, and we're going to support, because again, I already talked a little bit about purpose. but I know that I should be doing this. I feel strongly, passionately to be doing this. And this is something I would definitely encourage you guys to be part of. So, and the last slide, to the people behind it with me, I have Dola, who is also a Nigerian living in, she's somewhere in Hamburg, works in HubSpot, and myself, SAP, Leslie, I think is Ghanaian as well. I lives in, I think in Berlin, and Vivian also from Nigeria, and Lilian from Cameroon, and Ronke is also half German, half Nigerian in Austria, I think in Vienna, also in a tech company. Lilian is with Microsoft, and Ronke is with Fortinet, and Vivian is with an electro technology company in Berlin. So yeah, so these are the people behind the scene, and I'm sure you're going to get to meet them more in the community as we launch. But this is just to say, to show to share with you. I think it's important to let you know that I'm not alone, and I have these people working together with me, and they all send their regards to you guys, by the way. And that is all from me for my presentation, and I think we can open it up now for Q&A.
I hope everyone can hear me. Thank you so much, Chioma, for the insights into the Black women in tech. And what really caught my attention was you mentioned something about unconscious bias that people usually have when people come into this space. But first of all, before I go to my own questions, let's take a question that we have for you. So someone asked, please, how does one start? Do we need any kind of qualifications to start?
So what does she mean by start? So for now, is for you to join the community. One, or you're talking about how do you start to enter into tech? So that's what I would like to understand, because there are
Please,
two things.
can you specify in what area, how to start getting into tech or how to get into the community? Please, can you expatiate on your question, the person who wrote this? So I go back to my question. If more questions are coming in, I would definitely let you know, and I'm sure you can also see that too. Unconscious bias, can you give us some insight on the kind of unconscious bias that you had to face?
Of course. So first of all, some of the unconscious biases, when people see you, they assume, for example, you cannot, you don't speak German, and before when they assume that, it dampens the communication, or it dampens it weakens the communication. So they already see you like uh, she cannot speak German. Either they are forcing themselves to speak English, and or you but the good thing there is, when you realize that is happening, you can come in with the strength to say, okay, I can actually speak the German, and we can actually speak German if that makes comfortable for them. And it can break the wall. It breaks the wall, because sometimes it was difficult to understand how they were coming in. Most times they were coming in from the fact that, oh, let me just speak English because I know she doesn't speak German, and it's going to help me better. And I know she wouldn't know how to speak. Let me force myself. And at the end of the day, they're not the truth is that they're not feeling good about it. They rather wanted to speak, um, um, they rather wanted to speak German, but they made this assumption. So it's something that you have to be active to speak about and say, hey, okay, is it okay for you? We can switch to German, because you can, without indirectly telling them, I know you're struggling, but you can also offer them that, just to break down their walls. Because I trust, from my experience in your workplace, and even in your workplace, and even with your customers, being able to speak the language would actually bring you farther than not being able to speak the language. Second part, which is a harder one, so the German one is just a very single one, but the harder unconscious bias that I have dealt with is also being seen as you're not capable to do the job, or already being told that you already been assumed that you are going to be you're going to fail, or you're not going to be able to deliver that. So there are instances where you can also be removed from a project or being assumed, no, I don't want to work. I had actually had a case where, yeah, I don't think I can work with her. I need a native speaker. I need somebody speaking hook Dutch in the highest level. I don't want to work with her. So things like that. And just is based on, oh, she's black. Oh, she's a woman. I don't think she's. So, but this is something we constantly work on. And by creating and building your network and building your allies and sponsors, you are better able to, with time to navigate such. But these are things that happen, even in the workplace as well, even with your colleagues as well, um, yeah, just little nuances, of assuming, maybe things you don't know or things they expect you not to know because and of course you just have to, keep or not just educating them, but bringing yourself truly, authentically out there, and for people seeing you for who you really are. And from there, you're beginning to break down those walls.
Okay. So some persons actually wanted to ask their questions in German. So feel free to drop your questions also in German. We're going to take them in
Yeah,
German language or in English. We're going to take all the
yeah,
questions in both
yeah.
languages. Feel free to drop them. So the person wrote back, yes, how to get into tech. So the question about how do we how does one start? We need to do we need any kind of qualification to start? So to
Of
start
course.
in how to get into tech.
Yeah, so it depends on where you're starting from. So how to get into tech, it's a question of, first of all, you need to do a reflection of who you are and what you are or what you have. So I like to see this, I like to pass the ball to you back. Instead of asking, where do I start? First of all, assess yourself. What do I have? Okay, because your question is asking, do I need any kind of qualification to start? Of course, you do need a kind of any qualification to start, and that's why it's important to you to be able to assess yourself. What are the current qualifications you have, and from there we can take it from there. So, and when I'm speaking simple things like a resume or a CV. You have a CV, you can share. You can, for example, share with me, what is your qualification? What is the last thing you did? Are you having a degree? You having a high school diploma, or you have an abitur, or you have a first degree? What did you do before? You have a work experience. What qualification do you have today? That's where we're going to start from, and from there, you can look at, okay, what is the next thing possible for you? But to answer your question, very generically, hell yes, you need a qualification to get into tech. Now, the question is, what are you looking for in tech? Which actually starts from your current qualification and what exactly that you are looking to achieve.
Okay. I hope you understand that if you want to go deeper, like if you would like to share your CV, you can actually send it to us and we would follow it up and at least try to brush it up and help you because tech is not just that you must learn how to coding. She mentioned that she's a specialist in cloud technologies. This is a different area, and there's so many different areas in tech. You can actually work as a consultant, you can work in the HR department, you can work in the account. There's so many, it's so broad. So regardless of what certificate you have, you need to brush it up. And um, you mentioned something about LinkedIn. Just to add more to what you said, because it's a very excellent point. If you are looking into going to professional jobs, you need a professional platform, and LinkedIn is number one as of today. I don't know about in the future, there might be something better. But as of today, LinkedIn is the number one platform where you can actually put yourself out there. So go get a LinkedIn profile, open one. Someone told me that she opened one with because she was kind of skeptical, and I had to like encourage her because it was more like a one-on-one consultation. Encourage her to be authentic. You need to be authentic enough if you want people to notice, if you want companies to notice you, and then you need to also interact. Interaction is very important. Your network is powerful. Chioma has just repeated the same thing. I'm just trying to buttress what she has said. Build a network platform. Go into LinkedIn. Open a LinkedIn profile. If you need assistance, you can come to us, send us an email, or we can chat on any of the platforms that you like. We can encourage you. There is also going to be consultancy timing, because we have a lot of clients that we deal with. So you need to like pick a time that suits you as well, and then we'll put you through to improve yourself. So Chioma, coming back to you, please drop your questions in both languages. We will answer everything. Coming back to you, in collaborating with the tech companies, in what areas do you does this Black women in tech want to go into this collaboration? As in, are you going to help people with placements, and how is it going to work?
So first of all, yeah, we are looking at the recruiting part. So we want to create a platform to connect tech companies to the tech talent pool. So that's the thing. And we want to also help, we want to leverage them as well in terms of, if there's any networking events within ourselves that they can offer us that. So today, most companies are hiring 50-60% based on referral networks. So with a platform like this, where the tech companies are going to be there looking, assessing, seeing the profile, seeing CVs, we're connecting profiles to them. It's more like we are serving like that middleman, because I can tell you how it's overwhelming for them to say, okay, this is the talent for me, or I can even, because they have automated processes, scanning CVs and going through some of these first initial screening. So with a platform like us, we want to be able to offer them, okay, we have this XY number of profiles for this job. Here, take it, assess if this works, and you can now connect that person to the recruiter, and they will of course, they will follow through the process, maybe initial screening, initial telephone interview, and now the ball is in their court. So it's a pretty much of being in the middle and connecting demand and the supply. That is what we are going to do, and I think we're going to also leverage that referral. So if there are opportunities, job opportunities in my organization that I know that with the women that are looking for, because people should be open to speak on what they are looking for, why not? We are going to be connecting to that. So things like talking to the recruiter, talking to the hiring manager, hey, I have somebody to refer to you. That's it. And on a broader level, because right now we are working with companies that say it's actually my agenda to increase this XY number of Black people, or increase this number of women, female. And we have the opportunity to say, oh, we have a pool here, come and look at this. So this is the area that we are going to be looking at. What we will not do is to say, oh, we place you to this job, or this, you are the right candidate. You have to go through the formal process for you to be selected to be the right candidate. So you have to follow through the whole process as a white or German person out there. You still have to follow that process. You also have to go through that on your own. But basically, we are just going to offer that opportunity. And already, being in the community, you must have gained a lot. How do you go? How do you land your job? Tips and trick and interview. You already know how to. You should be well informed and educated, and be well equipped to even say, okay, now I'm going for the job. Because I want to mention here that sometimes the problem is not the opportunity out there. Most of the problem is that some of us are not ready. I had a friend in the UK. When she came, she told me, Choma, I should finish that master's. She's like, she doesn't understand what's going on. The number of rejections she's getting. It's like, she started looking at it as being victimized. This will never give a Black person a chance. And I told her, hold on, can I look at your CV? Or how are you doing your application? And when I realized, she told me that she's sending this one CV. I told her, well, for starters, you shouldn't be applying to with one CV, or you shouldn't be applying with one role. You should be applying to a couple of roles, and you should be having multiple CVs. And you should make sure that you have keywords in your CVs, because in the initial screening of CVs, it's not human being. Nobody's going there to read Ifeoma this or Chioma this or Chinelo. It's actually computer scanning that through. They don't even know your race or sex or whatever. There are people just scanning through that. So you need to be strategic with your CV to make sure that you are selected, at least giving the first initial phone call interview. So you must get the attention with little tips and tricks. So after talking with her and looking at things she could change in her CV, it wasn't up to 2 weeks. She got a call. She started getting calls for interview because she switched it. So just to give you that kind of ideas, I rarely put out any a CV if I'm looking or trying. I'm not necessarily looking per se, but sometimes I'm just trying to do some market research. I know that I get responses back. Of course, I am in a different space right now, but even after when I learned that, and it was also somebody that helped me. It was somebody that actually told me this at the same time that I was also rich. A person told me, "Hey, do this, try this, and you will see." So little things like this, are something that we can help and share with each other. At least by the time you're going for your first thing, you're applying, you're going for your first interview as well. You are prepared, you're saying the right things, you're coming with the right attitude. Even if you land your job, you're also being successful, you're open to learn. That is the things that we are sure that we can offer in this community.
So you mentioned keywords in CV. So we put out a call for people who want to for job placements based on our partners that we already have. And one of our clients was like, "Oh, why should I send my CV in a Word format, blah, blah, blah." I'm
Chinelo,
like, "Are you
I
aware
do.
that you don't send?" Can you hear me now? Is it better?
You
Can
were
you hear me
breaking
now?
up. You were
Oh, sorry
breaking
about that. Is it better?
up the last 30 seconds. Yes, I can hear you
Okay.
now.
So we put out a call to place some of our
So,
yeah, I mentioned that you were talking about keywords in CV. Yeah. So keywords in CV, there was one of our clients that we were talking to, and we asked that they send her CV in Word format, and she asked why should she send the CV in Word format. I'm like, are you aware that you don't send one CV to all? Are you aware that you don't send one CV to everybody, to every company, and you need to put in the right keywords? And
yeah,
most of this
absolutely.
information, people are not aware of it now, you know? So it's really a key point there that you need
Yeah,
to put in the right keywords for different companies. Yeah. We have another question. Someone says, "I want to be a front-end developer. Please, how do I start?"
yeah. So for
Did you
this,
get that question,
for
Choma?
you to be I saw that, yes, if you want to be a front end developer, I do not have the answer for you right now. But I can ask you to, in the meantime, um, check. So let me just put this in a simple way. Do you know anybody that is a front end developer? Let's start there. Do you know anybody that is a front end developer? Maybe reach out to that person. That's one thing. And secondly, I take this topic with me. Um, there are people that want to go into developing. There are courses out there these days. You can sign up for one to take a course. Because for you to be a front end developer, you need to do the training for it. You need to study it for to be a front end developer. So you need a skill set. So how to be a front end developer is You have to learn it. Either you have a university degree or you did some sort of 6 months paid training. I had Arbeitsagentur is offering one, but this is something we can also take to share a targeted information around how to be a front end developer in the community. Yeah. But the little you can do for yourself, one, reach out, check. Do you have anybody you know in your network that's a front end developer? Reach out to the person, send an email or chat. Can I talk with you for 10 minutes? Because some of them are on a call, and then you can now proceed to check Google. You make Google your friend and find the resources out there and what you have to do. Yeah.
She said she doesn't have. Depends on your current situation. Can we know if you have already any knowledge in developing, like web development, and if you have
Mm.
what kind of what do you call it? Because like Choma mentioned, that Agentur for Arbeit is actually supporting trainings in that area. There's this DCI also. Mame also mentioned something about DCI trainings. There are a lot of boot camps where you can learn this, how to be a front end developer or how to be a web developer, or different areas of the
Yeah.
tech industry. This is also a good start. So it depends on what you have. Do you have a dudong? Do you have advertised title? Do you have, are you on job center? We need to know all this information, because if you're on job center, you have the possibility of being sponsored. You just need to let us know, send us your CV, let us know what's advertised title that you have, and then we'll discuss with our partners on how to sponsor that training in collaboration with, Agentur for Arbeit or Job Center, and then you can train yourself in that area, and then have a LinkedIn profile. Very important. If you need to boost your LinkedIn profile, let us know. We can put you through in that area, and then reach out to companies, and as well as also join the community so that you can get more information, because it's one thing to have a nice CV. It's another thing for you to pull through the process, like to get the job for yourself. We have a question here. I did bachelor in management studies from my home country, but I want to go in. mm, I want to go into IT, like data analysis or inventory assistant. Which IT course can I do that is marketable?
Yeah.
Chema, this
So
is for
now, yeah. So let us take a step back and talk about skills. So you need to come with, and when I mean skills, the the recruiter is looking for concrete, what I call the hard skills. Okay. So there must be something that you have said, this is what I have done, this is what I've studied, this is a course that I've taken, or either it comes in a course or it comes in experience. And this is what we call, the hard skills. So for the question is, like you're saying, I did bachelor management, I want to go into IT, like in data analysis. Which IT course that I can do is marketable? So already data analysis is an IT course. You can take that as a course. Okay. So I wanted to make sure that I emphasize the fact of, I mean, I think everybody's saying the same thing. You have to learn a skill. You have to learn it. It's a true experience, it's through a course, and you must be good at what you know, because your interview, your job, your first 6 month proposite is most likely testing what you said in your CV you can. And in Germany, you better know how to do that. Otherwise, it will backfire. So you should be able to know how to do that. And in that case, it's not what is marketable. It's not really what is marketable. It's really from what cost can you connect with? What cost can you connect with? What cost can you really learn and be good at it, gain experience, and for you to be able to, um, um, do that. So you in a data management or data analysis is already a course. So look into data analysis, data sciences or analytical analysis or business analysis is currently hot topic right now. And again, there are courses out there for it. Learn it, practice it, and see where you can at least you have it. And I'm sure that some of these job roles are looking for one or one person out there, and that is your core strength, and that is what you're gonna where you're gonna start from.
Okay, another one says, I am currently learning front-end developer online, but I don't have computer science degree. I don't think you need the computer science degree. Or Chema, what do you think?
I don't think you need a computer science degree. I agree with you as well. And you already said you're learning the front end online. So my bigger question would be why you're already there. Do you have another challenge you need to? Can you give me a second? I need to get to my door. I expected this.
Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
so I will just continue before she comes back. I think I would say this. You're currently in front end, you're learning front end to be a front end developer. What you need to do is practice, 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 because your
Mhm.
experience is what will count. If you have a GitHub account, practice and then learn to build a portfolio. You need to understand how to build a portfolio of the things that you have done. This is also a big show when you are making your presentations as a front end developer. They want to see what you have done. So you need to practice a lot of things. You need to actually do some freelance job or volunteering job, like help some organizations or company to build their front end sites. This is front
Mhm.
end development. And this is what you can use as a hard skill and also as your portfolio to show that this is what you've done. You do not need a computer science degree. You need to learn the skills, practice it. Experience is what counts. And then put it out there to your
So
employer.
I want to understand the why. I want to ask why do you think a computer science degree is important? Like, I have a feeling that there is more to this question because you are currently learning it, right? So, and for you to be in there means that when you finish learning it, your next step is to go into that. So, is there something else you're wondering to understand, or do you have the limitation currently in the online? Are you asking if computer science degree is a prerequisite if you want to get hired? That could be, but I can tell you because there's no time for you to answer me back. But I can tell you in Germany, you also like it's important for you to also be communicating, and there are things they're looking at in when it comes to a job. They want to see a flow of your curricular vitae. What have you done in the years, right? Did you graduate? What did you do? Do you have the first degree? In anywhere did you do Ausbildung? There must be a history for yourself, and that's important. That needs to be seen in your CV because they're not just going to assess. Okay, she did just this front end. Okay, but some companies are also looking at your history. They're also looking at your credibility from the beginning to see what you've been through. And honestly, it doesn't matter. The truth is, you need to be open to say, okay, this is what I've done. Okay. So look into what you've done in the past and make sure you highlight that. If you did a marketing degree, it's fine. And you're now shifting. And you can also find a way to communicate that because that is what they're going to be looking at. So these people, they're wanting a lot of they're looking at a lot of behavioral, when it comes to this in the tech space. It doesn't really necessarily, one part is your experience, the hard skill you're showcasing, but another side is also the how do I put it? It's also looking at how your credibility as a person. They want to see your history. That's why they call it in German Lebenslauf. They're also looking at what you do from the past to connect that you're going to be a fit in the in the company as well. So and I want you to be able to demonstrate that as well. So because if you do not have a science degree, it doesn't matter, but you want to also be able to show where you're coming from. So the lines are connected.
So someone said, please, is there a possible help from Arbeit marketing in DCI? I have a bachelor. The possibility is there to send us Afenta title that you have, and if you let us know all this information, the possibility is there. I want to know if computer science is a modification or it's not.
It's not a must because you're already there. If it's a must, I'm sure you will not be studying it. So you're already there. So if you're there, it's not a must.
So Chioma, since you're in this representation in space, and what is your possibilities? Are they're going to be, since you're starting, what are we looking out for? Is there a date, or is there something that we're going to?
Yeah. So the month of February is what we are starting. From the February 1st, we're going to be starting with our announcement, and the community is live, and we'll be pulling to people to join us. So I already sent you the links, and I will send the links to you as presentation. So feel free to share it. Maybe I can even add it to, I don't know, there's a chat here, and I wonder if that chat is going to be accessible by everybody.
The chat is just between us.
Okay, the chat is between us. Okay, so I don't see it. So I'm going to put it in the chat here. If you want to, feel free to send them in.
We're going to
That's all.
The YouTube channel, so we'll be watching. You can get
you can
the
add
link
the
from our YouTube.
description. Yeah. So definitely, with this, so with this link or with this video session, when I distribute it, I'm also going to be sending the link, because to me that's the only thing I can give away for people today. For further support or further reach out. Yeah, of course. And you guys have a platform where people can go to, so they can always go to you as well. No problem, depending on where they are or what they're looking for.
German, that is no problem at all. Then the possibility is there for you. For the younger ones who was, what would be your advice to them? What would be them to have at the back of their mind when what would you like to advise them?
Yeah, so for the younger ones, it will be to stay curious and be fearless. So curious means ask the right questions. I feel that a lot of people in the generation today, because of, thanks to social media, sometimes also no thanks to it, people are a little bit limited in their, or narrow in their mindset. So to the young people out there, stay curious. Today is again the work of network. If you are interested in an area, please feel free to reach out. Feel free to ask questions and understand about what you want to go in, and be comfortable with it. You can tell, and like there's so many things that I like to do that's helped me in my career. If I'm interested in any area, when I went into project management, I asked questions. I talked to my professors. I asked people that were doing this. Tell me, just get in a 15 minutes with them, a phone call. Can I learn? Tell me about your role. What are you doing? How can one get in? What is needed? How is it you learn. Even my roles that I have switched within my company, it's very important when you hear from the horse's mouth. Okay, it's a lot of, and of course, there's so many I would say, make Google your friend. You can read so many materials out there, but at the end of the day, please connect it with the human part of it, with the person, with the content, contact person, and for you to make that meaningful discussion. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your insights
and for all the that you have raised. So for everyone listening, them down in the session and we would give it out. And I want to ask everyone here, list you want us to cover that we haven't touched. Very happy. I love reading calls to channel the kind of content that we provide us so that we are detailed enough and on interaction session with experts from different business aspects, from different, have a wider view of, because life is about putting yourself out, shrinking, or thinking that you cannot do so, you cannot do anything. I'm not here to be a motivation. Tell you that anything you want to do, you can do. Everything starts from here. It starts from your mind. Be in charge of your mind to get what it is that you want to do. So what prefers to talk about? What career path you want to? One of our guests here that actually gave us on how to find out what career path suits us. Question is, what do you want to do for yourself? What are you covered on our YouTube channel? So if you haven't subscribed to the channel for more of this informative content with information that we put out there, bring someone who you think would be, please let us know as well. You can always, there's something that we have not covered, let us want us to talk about, please let us know. And a lawyer, doctors, or engineers, military field, or any housebudong that you think we need, or those in consultants, just let us think that you want to know about, or is it how to just let us know, because we are very an interactive session where you can ask, you need that information, and for giving us the time from our business for coming to us and telling us to get more information from different build this community of Black women in tech. And when you're doing something you love, watching you, you're more like a role model to your children. They're watching you and looking up to you. Oh, if mama can, if my father can do this, I can also do it. I aim to. For me, I always try to go for. I believe every human being also wants to do the same. And for joining us on this, and don't forget as well. Thank you so much, Chioma, for and definitely the links will be in the YouTube channel on the description and join the community. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye for now.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chinelo. It was a pleasure. Take care. Bye.